Hello class. I'm doing my information speech on weightlifting. Millions of people throughout the world would agree that weightlifting has helped them in some way. Weightlifting is defined as a sport or activity of lifting heavy objects to prove strength. Two standard lifts in weight training, and one is a single movement. An example would be the snatch, and the two movement lift, which is the clean and jerk, which I'll talk about later in the video. There's much more to weightlifting than most people actually think, which is very true. I'm going to talk about a little bit about the early weightlifting and how it began. Um, the ancient Egyptians and the ancient Greeks societies used to use weightlifting to show power and strength and compete amongst one another. It started to become an international sport in the 19th century when it was brought to the Athens Games for the Olympics in 1896. Women actually weren't competing in weightlifting until 2000 in the Sydney, Australia Games, which was pretty cool. The Olympic weightlifting has definitely evolved massively over the decades it's been out. Weightlifting can be used by people for many reasons. Three main reasons that I think of are for bodybuilding, strength, and for sport. I'm going to talk about each one. For sport, an example would be the Olympic Games. Professional athletes use weight training to better themselves, gain more strength, and overall essentially become better. Strength, people use it to become stronger, be able to lift more. And bodybuilders, which their main goal is to look muscular. So they're not after the strength mostly, but they will gain it anyways. The good things about weightlifting, it burns fat quick. The more muscle you have, the more muscle you build, the more fat you burn, essentially. You increase your testosterone levels and you get stronger joints, which is also very good. I'm going to talk about the muscle groups that people that weightlift think of, or that affect the pectorals or the latissimus dorsi, which is the chest or the back. The anterior and posterior deltoids, which is the inner and outer shoulder. The trapezius and the deltoids, which is the upper back and the shoulders. The abdominis rectus and the spinal erectors is the abdominal muscles right here, and the lower back, which is right back here. The oblique side of the abdominal muscles. The gastrocnemius is the calf muscle, which is on your leg. The bicep and tricep, which is the front and back of your arm. I'm going to give an example and show how to properly do a squat. The squat is a very important part of weightlifting. All weightlifters do the squat. It works out your entire body and you can build massive legs from it. As long as it's done properly and safely with a spotter, of course, if you're doing heavy weight. Now I'm going to show an example using my barbell here. These are clamps, what we call clamps, which you're supposed to have weights on the side and you clamp it on. But I don't have any weights because I'm just showing you. But you put the bar behind your back like this, you have the weights on the side, put your arms to your side, and you slightly bend your knees and put your feet towards this angle. Put it behind your back, slightly bent knees, and then you you act like you're sitting almost. While looking up, always looking up, you act like you're sitting. Boom, and then you shoot forward. Boom. It's the best way to do it, and of course with a spotter if you're doing a proper amount of weight. And also another important part of weightlifting is the bench press, which works your pectoral muscles and your triceps mostly, but it does work your entire body as well, and you can build massive strength from it. Many people use the bench as a bragging rights even, and they try to see who's the strongest. People think whatever their bench is how strong they are. So it is important in the weightlifting community. Weightlifting and athletes. Almost all professional sports use weightlifting or some and practice weightlifting. Essentially, the athletes do better always if they weightlift, and they're in the increased rate of force, they increase power production, they increase durability, and they increase coordination. Weightlifting was started hundreds of years ago and is stronger than ever right now. It has evolved so much over the decade and deserves recognition. From competing in the Olympics to stepping up and shaping your overall body, weightlifting can do it all for you, and that's a fact.